do not need hardly any slack.
Put her back in mode 2, our controllable mode, please.
You're gonna need yourself a long john to get enough leverage on here. Verify Revolver alpha order.
What a decadent combo.
These tires are rotational, they have a direction.
I gotta remind myself about the off-road traction of supermotos. The sound she makes.
Oh, you're stinky. I know you are, baby. They're not moving.
I don't have the health coverage for it, so I had to let off the throttle. We are cranking our gooses up way higher than we used to, boys. It's like they sucked and now they kind of don't. Decent. That one was fucking up there. It's a crazy cart, a child's toy.
Shoot, let's go second. This is the high-speed motor, the high-torque motor, and of course the Revolver Alpha. These two are identical cosmetically other than being HS for high speed and this being HT for high torque. Yes, indeed, is more aimed towards low end. And high speed is not only better at resisting heat, so you can rip it harder for longer, but also moves the power to the high end. So if you have the TruMoto controller, which already gives you 400 phase amps, extra torque, it's recommended from Electro & Co. and anyone with a good brain cell thumping around in their noggin to get the high speed, because you're getting low and mid-range from the controller and then high speed from the high speed motor. And if you want the most inexpensive option to get your ETM RTR quicker, more peppy, I did do a review of just the high speed motor with no tune. This is now the cheapest it's ever been, as it is the least good of the upgraded motors, but still good. It is the least expensive and it does give you more torque. Still the same top speed of 57 miles an hour, but substantially more torque and more heat resistant. High speed, even more heat resistant and more top end. And then the Revolver motor, even more heat resistant, looks the coolest, is bigger, has a larger front sprocket, which goes with the 420 chain, and the huge rear sprocket. It's the Alpha. They named it that for a reason. It's the best motor right now.
Forgive the catastrophic glare. I got all the blinds open right now. Take the battery out, and while the battery's out, turn the key on. The screen's gonna turn on for a second. Even with no battery in the bike, go ahead and rip the throttle a couple of times, discharge all that electric juice stored in the system. Now take your key, put it somewhere safe. I'm wearing my action cam like a necklace so I can have both my hands while I work on the bike and show you how to install a motor. Considering I didn't really document the process last time, I've actually uninstalled and reinstalled motors. This will be the third time now. Change the aspect ratio to not be wide fish angle lens like a normal action cam. It's now like a normal camera if I was using my cell phone. Little plastic cover right here to get it off. Grab it from the side. Pull on the other side, push down at the bottom, it unhinges. Come on, baby. Make me look stupid right now. There we go. There's a little rubber pad, an Electro & Co logo right there, front of the battery tray. Swapping motors on these bikes is super, super easy. It's 3 wires and a plug. Strongly recommend taking off the side plastics and even one of these side battery covers. It'll make getting to the parts way easier. This is the current cable management situation. Not nearly as pretty as when I first got the bike. This is the kind of, I've given up. I don't really think this is the last time I'm gonna be working on the bike. I just want the wires together, not caught up in the battery tray or anything like that. No, I am upgrading it. It's not fun when you're fixing something broken, just when you're making it go faster. Oh, I dropped a screw and it went somewhere.
You gotta get yourself a 10 millimeter. There's 2 bolts on each side that hold the motor in place. You're gonna need yourself a long john to get enough leverage on here, or just be strong. So what I do is I loosen these up, but not completely, and then I hold the motor from the bottom like this so it doesn't drop out, and I take out the last couple of screws. Loosen your chain to make this easier. This is about the slack I keep in mind. You do not need hardly any slack. The motor is in the swing arm. It doesn't
need typical dirt bike flex. Electro & Co. said it on their maintenance video. You can actually take, you know what, I am gonna take the chain off before I take this motor off, because this chain's coming off for the new 420, which by the way, look at the size, thickness on that.
This is the upgraded thick chain. This is the 420 conversion. As you can see, it is thicker. It is also lubricated better out of the bag, differently, I would say. These ones come greased. This one's like oiled. Let me show you how to take a chain off one of these suckers. It's super easy. There's a master link. Go ahead and rotate that wheel around. You're gonna see the master link. That's my ring light diamond. This is your master link. Get you a flathead screwdriver. Cool, popped it off. It's right here. Set it aside for a rainy day. Old greasy beezy over here. Cool, one bolt is now holding it in place. Coming over here, I'm gonna grab it with this one. Check this out, one-man army. Need no help whatsoever. Come here, big girl. This is a fantastic opportunity while the motor's out to get all this spritz from the chain splattering. When it's freshly lubricated, just take a paper towel and wipe this up. Okay, it's barely going anywhere. All right then, I tried. How about this nasty ass shock? Can I make you look prettier, sweetheart? Not really, you still look greasy and gross. To make it way easier to install the new motor, I did remove the small pit bike tire, as I have to install the SuperMotos anyway. Sorry I didn't pause my movie, I'm watching the new Anaconda. This is what the wiring is supposed to be like. Once you've absorbed that, blue, green, yellow, and one of the power leads. If you have the AC converter for the lights, you're gonna have the splitter. Speaking of splitters, down here, if you have the TruMoto controller, you are gonna have this wiring harness, which I don't like. Rubber protective sleeve is trimmed back this far, exposing these 4 thinner wires. I'm gonna use some electrical tape to beef it up a little bit. What you're gonna do is just tuck that back there. You're gonna have a plastic cover. So whether you got the big wheel kit or the 14-inch SuperMoto tires and you have lightweight sprocket over here, you do still need to use the new one for the 420 kit. They do look the same diameter-wise and style, but look at them teeth. Sharp and long and jagged and ready to bite your ass on. These are the bolts that came out of the old sprocket. These are the new ones that came with the kit. They are identical. Every time you swap your wheel and tire set, you should also clean and grease your axle. There is different size spacers. The short one goes on the brake side. The longer one goes on the non-brake side. I used to be super confused or scared about resizing chains or how to break and reattach them. They're not that difficult. If they have a master link, you take a flathead screwdriver, pop the master link out. You can also use pliers if you don't have a flathead. Experienced flathead works the best. Not so easy as if you do need to remove links, because you actually do need a tool, but Electro included that. Couple of things. First of all, this chain looks super badass. Second of all, just by looking at it, I can tell it was too long for me. I couldn't handle that length. If you choose the option, I have a 14-inch rear tire. Look at all this extra slack, all the extra links. So yeah, that's why they give you this tool. They know you're gonna need it. Be careful though, because removing links is easy. Adding links, I'm gonna say it's impossible. I've never been able to return links to a chain I removed. When you put on your master link, make sure that it faces this way so it can't accidentally catch debris and then pop out. That would probably never happen, but I've heard it's safer to have it go this way. As you can see, the chain rotates around that way, and I have my master link with the close end going that way. Also, these tires are rotational. They have a direction because, as you can see, they have tread pattern that expels water, just gives you more grip in one direction. It is crazy how technology has gotten. This dense little sucker here is a 17.5 horsepower dirt bike motor. It's pretty heavy, I'm not gonna lie. When you first get one of these motors, the wires have been crimped like that. Just go ahead and straighten them out. Also, look at this reinforcement, which you do not have on the other motors. So I was about to transfer over the motor mount bracket because that's how you install all the other motors, but this one, the Revolver Alpha, has its own. Also comes with its own bag of hardware. Set aside your 10mm, grab an 8mm to do the motor mounts. I really do like that Electro included new hardware because that allows you to keep the motor mount on for your high torque or high speed motor if you ever want to swap back to it. And you can kind of use the orientation of the old motor mount to look at it and kind of figure out how it's supposed to go before you have to hold it in the bike and line it up with these parts. You're also going to want to prep these screws with some blue Loctite. Blue is the one that's temporary, meant to be removed. Red is the permanent one that's like super glue basically. Just put a little tiny dollop. I don't know if this stuff expires, but it's been sitting in my garage for like 10 years. Still works. Moment of truth. Time to drop the battery in, hook it up, see if there's any sparks or if the motor just starts going on its own. Now the app is not set up for the Revolver motor. High speed to the Revolver Alpha. Verify Revolver Alpha order. Enter the order number and email used for your Revolver. Selecting that new motor, it did change my settings. Ooh, but you do not get a warning pop-up.
saying that your motor's gonna throttle back performance on you because that Alpha can handle 13 nominally. You just constantly. Same thing with the phase amps, but those at 400. Oh, there we go. Okay. I just did a video going over the TruMoto app, step-by-step walkthrough. It was capped at 52 miles an hour versus the 67 it used to be. Now it is 70. They changing things, and I like that last change right about there. Let's give a couple of cracks on the corn.
Okay, the display's not showing speed or mode being changed because I did make some changes in the app. Turn it off, turn it back on. Ooh, what the heck? That last little part, I felt like I was off the throttle and it was still going. Creeping on me. It sounds much lower in frequency, deeper, more bassy, less zing zing, high pitch, like a, small electric motor, as this is a little bit bigger in diameter. Also the chain being thicker and more robust, quieter, and just a little bit better, deeper sound. What is that ringing sound? Ringing the gong. Battery's at 83% right now because I did ride it yesterday a little bit. So what I'm gonna do right now, since I just remounted the brakes, loosen them up, squeeze the brake all the way in, tighten them back up. So lines your caliper with the rotor so the pads do make proper contact. Those are jacked down nice and taut. Also do wanna make sure that your axle is tightened up because if it isn't, those spacers won't be aligned properly and the brake just won't work properly. The kickstand got loose just from opening and closing it. If you have the SuperMotos or the big wheel kit, bike will lean over more aggressively on the kickstand than if you just have the pit bike tires. We're practically vertical, and be careful because you can actually tip it over if you are on some uneven terrain. Gonna throw the ball with Harley. Try the Revolver motor for the first time. Give me that sugar. Oh, I got greasy today. My favorite basketball shorts. Oh God, it feels so much better being up higher on these SuperMotos. Holy, wow. It's way more torquey. At the same settings in the app, the phase amps, it is just incredibly torquey. Boneheaded move. You know how I was talking about in the living room? Changed my action cam to be linear, not fisheye, wide angle. I never switched it back, so now when I'm riding, it's kind of cropped in all narrow, not like a usual GoPro footage where it's wide and you can see everything on my sides. The sense of speed, it looks like everything's much slower than I'm actually going. It doesn't look as good as usual footage, but still watch because you're gonna wanna hear and feel and taste that Revolver motor. And I actually learned how to do proper up and balance point wheelies, finally. And this is with the stock brakes. I still have the Formula E-Motos for the rear, so once those go on, I'll be tossing it back way further comfortably and consistently. Sounds way different too. Quieter, deeper. Watch out, baby. It's way smoother, way more controllable. That's in 13 kilowatt mode. Put it in middle mode here, 10 kilowatt. Yeah, it's just way more controllable. Gonna lob it to her, but she didn't see it. Oh, you're stinky. I know you are, baby. Yeah, this is gonna get ripped on the street today. Yeah, I gotta go ride this thing. This is just too much. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, but I gotta see what this Revolver motor is all about. Got the usual riding attire, Crocs, basketball shorts. Not when we're doing any serious ripping, but I'm just doing a little tasteful zip and rip, so to speak. What is that noise? I don't know if I necessarily like all that. What is that? That is a crazy sound. I don't know if I like it. It's not very confidence-inducing. That right there, that like kind of metallic sound. Boy, that is just smooth and controllable, isn't it? Controllable, smooth, as any Electro and Co tune would be. Now, I haven't checked the tire pressure on these puppies in a while because they just got installed, but should be good. Yeah, man, that chain looks good, smells good. How am I wheeling better on this motor the first ride than I ever have on any of the other motors? It don't make sense, brother. 3 squirrels in the middle of the road. What are you guys doing over here, huh? Wanna watch some wheelies?
They're not moving. Oh, that one did some acrobatics. What are y'all doing? Yeah, she's nice, for sure. The old stomping grounds, boys. Jerking and jacking that throttle. This brake, man, I gotta install those formulas before I have a tip over and hurt myself. And at my age, I'm not quick to recover like you boys. Tell you about it. It's one of the actual parks and recreation guys that work here. I ride here all the time. I've had no issues with like anybody, families or the employees or anything. Okay, yeah, this is a little balance point creeper. That chain, that motor, my God, what a decadent combo. Yeah, that noise right there when you let off throttle and it sounds like a metallic buzz or something, it's just weird. We're dehydrated here recently or what, but I've been getting arm pump after like no time riding here recently. I gotta remind myself about the off-road traction of supermotos. It's not as good as knobbies, but it is surprisingly better than you would think for being street, basically little sport bike tires. The sound she makes. It's a better sounding, quieter, smoother motor. I think Electro & Co.'s an American company, like they're Electro lands in California, but the boxes all say made in China, so the parts probably come from there. Buy it. That was way too easy. Battery is reading 69%. I think we started at like 83 today or something. Tons of torque. Even if I lug it, don't use momentum and just creep up with the torque. But to lock up the back wheel consistently, I have to use 2 fingers. I have the formula brakes, I just need to install them. Yeah, standing on this bike is not very comfortable. I got the high-rise bars, and it's just still, the ergonomics of it, it's a pit bike, dude, it's small. The E-Rod I can stand, it feels very comfortable. What is that? That is gonna drive me crazy. Maybe I gotta check the bolts on my, these puppies or something. Like, what is that? Somebody help me, please, in the comments. What is that noise? Whenever I let off throttle, it gives like a metallic ting, like this. That right there. That right there. That, Jesus, what is that? I'm hoping it just goes away over time, but you never really know. the Revolver motor, giving me the confidence to take her back to a spot I've never been before. I've never had this level of confidence in the bike, and this is before I put the good rear brakes on the formulas. My goodness, I can't even tell you what my wheelies will look like after that, once I have a real rear brake. Oh, loose sand, front end washing out on me. Gotta be careful, you have a lot less grip on them supermotos. Anything that's not dry pavement. Too low again, sir, you're chasing them. And those wheelies should be chasing you. I can usually tell what she wants to do. Like right there, she wanted to buck my ass off and crack my spine in 3 places. I don't have the health coverage for it, so I had to let off the throttle. Oh my God. Oh, there's that dead armadillo from yesterday. Smells delicious through here, like fresh pine and cedar. Wheelies getting cracked in the summer. If you put somebody that actually is coherent in riding bikes, oh my goodness, he would be having a heck of a time on it. All right, let's dust out on this. Let's give it another crusting and dusting. This bike is just consistent with the throttle pop. There it was. Is this the day that we like casually learn wheelies? Not what the day was for. I mean, I'm out here in Crocs and basketball shorts. I'm not, you know, out here trying to become the next wheelie lord or anything. I've actually got my toe up underneath the shift lock. Never used to do, so watch yourself, sister. Come on, you're getting down low again, sir. You know where they need to be. Those wheelies need to be right about there or higher. You're at the bottom of the balance point, sister. That was nice. That was cute. That was fucking nice too. Keep popping them like that. Just don't forget that rear brake on. There's a person right there. Not with a dog. Look how quiet we are though. We're just creeping in. I'm getting too comfortable popping up into balance point. I'll tell you that right about now. Oh, Betty, you're so naughty. Yeah, them supermotos do not hook up at all like the dirt bike knobbies. It's a fair trade-off though, for sure. I prefer the supermotos overall, but you know, we are at 61%. If I turn the bike off and back on, it'll take into account battery sag and give me a new number. Didn't really jump up much, like at all. So it is way harder to pull up to balance point with 10 kilowatts and 300 phase amps versus 13 and 4, but once you're up there, you can kind of modulate around it. Terrible wheelies again. What happened to you? Gotta remember you're in mode 2, not 3, so you gotta crack that throttle a little wider to get her where you like her to hang out. That was smooth as the grease. Yeah, I kind of like this mode more, to be honest. It is like It is like the wheelie mode. It is just so precise and controllable. It's crazy. Yo, where'd that rear brake at though? Sometimes it like misses the caliper and goes all the way to the grip. I gotta install them formulas. Oh, fucking bug just, how did that happen? Hold on. Oh God, I gotta pull over. This is like an emergency. I have sunglasses on. How did you get around my glasses? Oh, I just took a bug right to the cornea, boys. Oh God, camera's on low battery too. Might be a good chance to pack it for the day. Oh, it's a cab. I was like, I had a crazy paint job. That guy loved it. He gave me the piece. My wheelies were so low before. One might say disrespectfully low. I mean, look at that. That was like literally just coasting off throttle. Totally comfortable doing that now. I'll do another one for you. Quick little pop of throttle to push me back up there. 10, 15 miles an hour when I start the wheelie, kind of like that. We are cranking our gooses up way higher than we used to, boys. Smells like good weed through here. Brother, what is happening with your wheelies? They've evolved into something else. Like they sucked and now they kind of don't. Decent. It was a full-blown coaster, boys. Not like the kind you put on the coffee table to keep from water rings when I'm off throttle and I'm zigging and zagging. Guess we can crack a couple through the old neighborhood on the way home. Yeah, I kind of like that mode I've been diddling in the mode 2. It's a little safer. The throttle's not quite as choppy. See what I mean? You can hold it there nice and precise like. So the only thing with that mode 2 is getting it up into balance point. You do have to kind of like either rock your body or give it a lot of throttle. But once you're up there, I do like the controllability of the throttle. Very smooth. That one got scary because I started veering off to the side. I've never done that before. Maybe you should put on some protective clothing. Although I don't really want to say like I got them down because I can't hold them forever. Like I kind of like eventually have to put them down. So I'm not really there yet where I can, holy shit, is that like a falcon or a hawk? Did you see the wingspan on that bird that's eating the carcass of that roadkill? Check this out, boys. Hold on to yourself for a second. Slow down, not startle them. Oh dang, look how big that, what is that? Oh, it's a vulture, okay. Starting to sound a little rough and chuggy, and I'm not going to say it out loud because it will jinx it. Sounded, never mind, I'm not going to say it, but kind of like when I had that battery failure, honestly. Back in 3, which will bring you up a lot quicker, so that's something you want your formula brakes for. Oh, that van was stinky. Big stink. Put her back in mode 2, our controllable mode, please. screams. Hey, how's it going? Dude, my wheelies have gotten there and back. To hell and back. All right, let's test the temperature of this motor, barehanded. Been ripping on her for quite a while now. Let's see if I get second, third, or first degree burns. Holy shit, yeah, it's hot. Yeah, it's hella hot. Dude, it's like cooking. I can only hold my hand there for a second. I do want to put it on the stand too and make sure that neither of the brakes are dragging. There's no excess drag or anything. It's just kind of the motor that's getting hot on its own, I guess, if that makes any sense. Do a little circular circle here. Ooh. That was not a circular circle. That was almost flipping. And the brake is like, look at this, pretty much to the grip now. Okay, we're going back to the house. Oh, there's a turtle there. I almost ran him over. I'm leaving. Turtle. Cooking through here with the grease. Hey, how you doing? Pretty well. That's a beautiful dog. He or she?
Boy.
Okay.
Gus.
Have a good one. Oh, that. Just make sure. I thought I was in mode 2, not 3, so I gave it the amount of throttle I would to bring me up. I didn't like it. Come on. Yeah, we kind of learned how to do wheelies today. Actually coming back into balance point, had a couple coasters where I've needed to use the rear brake. That wasn't it. You weren't even in balance point. That one was fucking up there. Bottomed out the rear suspension, hurt my fanny a little bit. My cousin Fanny. Feels weird. Like I don't know if one of the tires is super low on pressure or what, but it does feel weird underneath me. Might be time to go to the crib and do a little maintenance on her.